and welcome to Crafting with Jane. So we finished on the last one with me doing these flowers and embossing them in gold. I then decided that I didn't want them completely in wood. I wanted them more to have that sort of sari look. So I just coloured them in with 2 different shades of alcohol marker and just sort of built it up so that it's got that. If I bring it up on here, you can see it's sort of got that turquoisey, bluey, green colour coming through and some of the sort of pink. So I just took a couple of alcohol markers that were exactly the same colour, and I've put yellow in the centre, but I probably will put a little bit of gold or something on there to just bring that out. So I now want to do some more texture around the sides here, and I really like this one with this sort of swirl on it, almost like a an exclamation mark. So I'm going to put that in on here on both sides, I think, and I'm going to do it in, I want to do it in a sort of a bright blue colour, but I don't know whether it's going to come out particularly well. It might come out greeny, and I don't want it to be too, I want it this sort of colour. So this is Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to try it and see. So I'm just going to take one like that up on here. I'm going to take it in and just rub this up and just see what happens. It might not even be bright enough. I might have to do it in black or something to make it come out nicely. We'll see. So I'm just literally rubbing this over and see. It's sweet. It's not overly detailed, is it? It doesn't come out as bright as it could do. But it does look quite nice. So I'm going to take that circle part so I don't do that again, and then I'm going to bring it on here because it might come out better. I've just thought I could probably do this little bit on here, couldn't I? Okay, so that comes on there. That's better. So I need those three little dots that are on top. So let's put that in there like that. And then I just want to take these little dots on there. That's a little bit better. Still very subtle. Still very, very subtle. I might actually go... It's difficult. I want it to be more bold, I think, but I don't want any more embossing on there. So I think that's probably, that's in that corner, so I don't need that in that one, do I? So I'm going to take the other one and just put it in this corner. So we'll have one in from here. And as I say, I think it depends what it comes on to. So this one is on the actual canvas, it's more difficult, and that's probably because, as I say, I didn't prime it first because I didn't want that sort of primed look. I wanted more of the canvas look on there. So I think it just adds a little bit of something, doesn't it? Let's put this one on here like that. Whoops. Just drop the sponge dauber on the ground. And as I say, I could do this with texture paste. So I've got some of this with some texture paste on it, which would look quite nice. But I've got quite a lot of texture coming through. So I don't know whether I want too much on there. Right, let's turn that way. That's quite pretty. I think that's quite nice. I do want something that's darker though. I want something that's going to stand out a bit more, but I'm not sure which part I'm going to use on that. So I'm just looking in here because I've got some of these VersaFine Claire. Now that's a purple, isn't it? That I think would go quite well. And I think I've got, have I got a red? Because red would be, yes I have. That would work nicely. Okay, let's try some of this. So that colour I think will work better than some of the others. Let me just put my, I need a red, don't I? So let me get a sponge Daubrette that I can have red on. So I'm going to have this red, I think, and hopefully it will work. I'm going to have some of the words as well. I don't know what the words say, but I believe that they're something quite uplifting. But as I say, I've no idea. So I'm assuming that they're quite uplifting. But I quite like them anyway. Now I've got to work out which way they go. Now I'm looking at this and going, that looks as if, I think that's probably the right way. So I think the words are going to go in this way. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take those down this way, like that. And I'm hoping that that's going to be the right direction. I have no idea, but we can but see. Do we think it goes this way, or do we think it goes that way? I think it's probably that way, but I don't know. So if I'm doing the wording upside down, my apologies. But I just wanted to do just something that's coming up like that. Oh, now that's very, very pale actually. You can hardly see that at all. You can see it a little bit, but not a lot. It's a little bit disappointing, that, isn't it? Never mind, we'll carry on. We'll carry on and see. It's all an experiment. And it's building up little layers and things anyway. It's come out pinkier than I wanted it. I wanted it to, oh, that's not too bad actually. It's given like little bits coming in on there, hasn't it? What I quite wanted to do was to maybe have a little one right in on that corner, just with just like that. Just those little speckles I think looks quite nice. And I'm going to take another one in and put it in that little corner. Like that. That's pretty. That's starting to, can you see how it's sort of building up little layers and things like that? Okay, now I do need to wash that, but because it's not acrylic, I'm not overly, I don't need to wash it immediately. I've also got these ones. Now these are going to go on here. So I'm going to have 5 of those. And do I print them in the gold exactly the same as I did on those? I do like those. I think that looks really nice. And I think I will. I think that will just add it. Now I could do it in, I've got to keep it in the same colour tones because I don't want to do it in anything else. So I need 5 of, I'm going to just put it out of the way because I need my paper. And I need 5 of these, and I want them to come up this way, so you've got the wood part on there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm just going to have a little center as well. So I'm going to take the same lovely patterned stamp, which is here. And I'm going to put this in on top. Now I always do this live time. I don't edit and do things like that. And I know that, you know, that might not be to everybody's taste. But what I would say is that you have a fast forward button. So you can always fast forward, and then you're not going to see the bits that you don't want to see. And I know some people literally just sit down with a cup of coffee or their lunch or in the evening and just watch me from start to finish. So, you know, I tend to do it. I don't do a lot of editing, and several reasons, because when you're doing crafting, if you do a lot of editing, it's difficult for people to see how long it really takes you to do, and you don't know what you cut out. So I tend to do it, you know, warts and all. So I will do everything as it is. So, you know, if it's coming through and it looks amazing, that's great. If it's coming through and it's not great, then that's the way it goes, because crafting is all about experimentation, seeing what works. And that's the thing that I like doing, is to turn around and do a lot of the crafting in real time so that you can see how I work. And, you know, I'm just like any other crafter. I make mistakes. I make messes. Some things turn out beautifully. Others don't turn out as well. But it's all about, I enjoy doing it and I like filming it so you can see as well. And I know particularly with things like this, where you've got these lovely kits that have just come out, it's quite good to see somebody using them and using all of the different parts and things as well. So, you know, £25 is not very much at all in this day and age. And to get all of these things, you see, these are the bits that some people would just throw away because they're the waste parts that were popped out. But whee, in reality, I'm going to have to press these down on something, aren't I? They actually make beautiful flowers. And because it's like an Indian Indian dreams, I wanted to make sure that I was keeping that sort of theme with it. See, again, this is like not how you should do it. You should have something to... Let me hold it down with something. And I can just do it like that. Right. Okay, so now I shall show you what I did with colouring it. So I used, I'm trying to think what colours, I chose a blue, and I want to have different ones this time. So I want this to be more red. So this one was, it was a blue, but it's come out more green. And this one, and sort of a bit of orange. So this time I want to try and have it sort of a pinky red colour maybe. This is quite a dark red, and actually it might work quite well if I can get the top off it. It might work quite well on here. So I'm just literally, you can see all I'm doing is sort of dabbing it about a bit. Because I don't want it to discolour the gold, and sometimes alcohol markers can do that, and I'm hoping that I can just rub it off. So you can see on these ones I'm just literally dabbing it. So that one's gone over, but what I'm going to try and do is to see if I get a little piece of kitchen roll. So this is a bit of kitchen roll. I want something that's a bit dry. Look at these lovely colours on here. They're going to be beautiful for making a background. So I'm just going to take a little bit that's a little bit dry. And then I just want to, you can see because it's on the red, it's not going to brush off. It will have stained it. But I don't think it matters too much because it's going to give that sort of I want it to give that sort of sari look to it. Okay, so now I can take one of these little tiny centers, and I'll show you how I got it so that it was straight, because then we can put this one on as well now, can't we? So this is going to come up in on the bottom. Whoops. So we've got one here. This one's going to come up about there, and just need to make sure that that's got a bit of I want a bit of colour on here. So do I use yellow again? I think I probably do. Let's use a deeper yellow on here to just colour it in a bit, and then I can always use something else. Now this is water based. Oh, actually I've just seen this here, and I could use my Posca pens, but this is a gold. Let's have a look and see what that's like. It's not very gold, is it? It's gone a bit green. Okay, so I know what I'm going to use for it. Let me take, this is the Posca pen, and I know that that will come out beautifully gold. So this is going to be golden on the centre. Lovely. And then I'm just going to take this gold as well on here. Now I could have done that when that was down actually, because I'm going to get it on my fingers now, but you can see how that just gives that little bit of gold on there, which is beautiful. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to put this piece in once it's dried a little bit, and we're going to have these up on here. So I don't want them too much in on the bit that's already gold. So it's going to come up about like that, maybe down a bit, maybe in on here. No, it needs to be up a bit here, doesn't it? So about like this. Okay, so we need to just glue this on, and I'm using Tombow. You can use any type of glue that will glue MDF. Now Indigo Blue makes one called Slap It On. I haven't used it, so I can't really sort of comment. And I'm literally just at the, that's better. So I'm going to put it down about there. I think will work. And then I can put these pieces on. So what I tend to do with this is just put a bit of the glue on, and then I'm going to put it down, but I'm not going to press it down, because it means that I can then make sure that I'm getting them in on the right position, because if you press them down and glue them straight away, you might not have them straight. And I've done 5 again because I did 5 on the others, and 5 I think will work quite nicely. Okay, so we can put them down like this, and then we can move them about so we get the same sort of position. And what I tend to do is I'll turn it round a bit, so I can then make sure that each piece looks straight. And again, I haven't put them down yet. So can you see that one? I want that one out just a little bit, and that one out just a little bit. Turn it round. That's got to come in just a tad. Can you see how by turning it round you can just make sure that you're getting it straighter? That looks perfect. So then I can pop it down, and it will slide a little bit with the glue, so I'm just making sure that I've got it where I want it now. So if I turn it round, and you can see on there we've now got 2 different colours, which I think is quite nice. So I'm quite pleased with that, and I am quite pleased with the way that those little pieces have come out round the side. I think they've worked quite well. Now, have I got any more? I've got these little ones. So do I do a third one, or do I leave that for something else? They always say to do things in threes, don't they? But I'm not sure. I want to use this, which is this lovely sentiment. Certain things capture the eye, but pursue only things that capture the heart. I like that. I think that that's a really lovely quote, and that would make a beautiful quote to have up on something. So do I have it so that it comes in on white? Do I have it so that I put it on some of this lovely paper and cut it out? I don't know actually. Do I have it on some paper in black? I think I probably do, because I don't want it to be I don't want to lose it. If I do it in white, I might lose it, mightn't I? I don't know. We'll try it in white first, I think, and just see how that comes out. So let me just get a piece of white on here. Let me just get my block, which is here. So let's put this on here like that. And then I'm going to take this out. I'm going to do it in black, and we'll just see how it comes out, because sometimes you want the words to show. So if you do them in, if you don't like the bits coming out on there, you can trim the stamps, because these are red rubber. You can trim them wherever you want. So I'm just going to put it down like this, press it down, and pick it up. Look at that. I think I'm going to like it as it is. I really do, but I'm not 100%. So let me just take some scissors and we'll cut it out. And see what we reckon. Take those pieces first. What I tend to do is to cut them straight across and then see how they come out. You can use a trimmer if you want them exactly straight, but I'm not that fussed. I quite like things to be sort of hand cut, shall we say, because once you've trimmed them down a bit. Okay, so certain things, whoops, capture the eye. But pursue those that capture the heart. Okay, I like that. Not quite at that much of an angle, about like that. I think that that will work perfectly. I will edge it, but I'm going to edge it once it's down, which is what I tend to do all the time, because for me that works beautifully. So I'm going to just glue this down. And we didn't want it too much of an angle, did we? So, whoa, sticking to my finger, certain things. Capture the eye. Capture the eye. But pursue. Now you see I have got that a bit of an angle, but I tend to do things at bits of angles, so that's going to have to come a little bit more of an angle then. But pursue. Certain things capture the eye, but pursue only. Those things that capture the heart. Okay, so I like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to take the black, because I want it to be to have black round the side. So we're going to take this first. No, we're not. We're going to go up here. And this one. And this is why I like doing it this way, because it gives you just a little bit more if you do it before you've done it, it means it's you're doing it, I know you're doing it round on the edge, but I quite like doing it so that when it's down, because it almost looks as if it's part of the framework rather than it's stuck out a bit. So this is the way I like doing it. Oh, I've just thought, I wonder if this is dried yet. Oh, yes, almost. Taking my hands on there, just making sure that I wasn't making a mess on it all. Got some lovely textures and stuff in here. And as I say, I could have done it with embossing paste, which would have looked quite good, but I'm not too upset with this. I think this looks quite nice. Sorry, I'm going quiet, aren't I? It's because I'm concentrated on going around the edges. So that's on there, that's on there. We need to do this one underneath on here. One underneath like that. And I can take this way. Whoops. That way, which is lovely. Okay, now I want to add some splatters, because I want to sort of tie it all in together. You know me and my splatters. Now these are white ones, so I'm going to do some white ones to start off with. And I always do it so I can hit it with something. Oh yes, can you see how these are automatically coming through nicely? Good old splats. Which is lovely. And then I want to do some gold ones, because we've got quite a lot of gold in there. So let's take the gold and again take this. And that gives it, I can turn it around the other way. So we get some splats coming up the other way. I have to give it a bit more of a shake. It's coming out in little ones rather than great big huge ones, but that's fine. Which is quite nice. I'm going to do another bit with this gold one, which is slightly smaller, but I think it's got probably a little bit more in there. I use these all the time, so sometimes that's better. And turn it around that way. Now you can see the quite blobby bits coming out on there, which is beautiful. And you can see that the white then of the words starts to blend in a little bit more. It doesn't stand out quite so starkly, which is what I wanted. Now I think that's probably where I'm going to go. I might just put a little gem in the center of that to give a bit of a twinkle in on the center, but if I stand up you can see how that has given you, hopefully, it's very difficult on a board, three-dimensional, but can you see all the different colors and textures and things on that? I'm really pleased with that. I think that that's worked out really well, and literally just using bits and pieces of scrap. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well, please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.